if you were an athlete or a musician, would you practice your skill daily? Or would you just do it now and again? If I was to ask you about Ronaldo, Messi, or even our local hero here, Andy Murray, they're all world class, but they still practice daily. Why is that? After all, they are world class. Do they need to practice? You see, the thing is, they all have a coach. And a coach on a daily basis, certainly for Andy Murray and Ronaldo, would look at the level of detail that they need to actually stay world class. You see, what a coach is actually doing is giving them tools, tips and techniques that their competitors will not anticipate. So they will lead the field. And it's just the same in the business and presentation world, that when you have a presentation coming up, whether that's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or a little bit longer, it's been able to practice what it is you're going to say. Now that's very different from memorising. I don't advise you just to memorise it, because if you forget a word, and we've seen it often with executives, that once they lose their place, it's very difficult for them to get back on track. So what I suggest you do, once you have it scripted and you have a framework, the first thing I ask somebody to do is to do it on audio for me and send it to me. So that gets them used to speaking into their phone, being able to listen and reflect on what they said. And that also helps with your voice and how quick or how slow you actually speak, or do you emphasize your words. Then once I've got the audio, I would give feedback. And then the second thing I would ask them to do is to do it to video on their phone, landscape, and send that to me. And then I can also critique that too. But you can do that. You can do that yourself. It's really quite easy to do that. We're all sort of quite good with our phones now. But what is really important as well is that how you open your presentation will depend on how your audience will engage with you. So I'd ask you to think about carefully how you're going to do that. I might do a short video on that actually, and how you open your presentation, because that is actually really important. I see people that have just been introduced from an MC, they walk on and the first thing they say is their name again and who they are and what they're going to do. We don't need to hear it twice. So all of these things take away your credibility. So we want to make sure that you have a presentation that's scripted, that's got a framework that you understand, and that you start to feel more confident because you've spoken into audio and video. And that means then that when you do go out to speak, particularly virtually just now, you will become more comfortable in front of the camera. And the thing is that if you make a mistake, people don't know you've made a mistake. But they will if you stop and go, oh, I made a mistake, or I didn't mean to say that. And lots of people do that on stage. Even professional people sometimes do that. But you know what? You don't need to do that. You're all really good. So if you miss something out, it's okay. But just remember that when you speak with a conversation. Practice every other day if you've not got time to have time to do that. But have that conversation as if you were talking to somebody that you know really well. practice and actually make sure that you can be the very best that you can be. Because you see, what you want to be able to do now in this overcrowded world of platforms and Zoom and all of that is you want to be positioned very differently. And you can only be positioned very differently if you've listened to some of the things I've been sharing with you this week. So I look forward to speaking to you